Shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and that rule well today. And peace and salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity day in and day out. Once again, I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar coming at you with another quick lesson. And right before I get into this lesson, this message or these videos goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible, and also to the Israelite foreigners that are scattered amongst the heathen nations and that may take on the physical appearance or look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. So basically, I'm just going to be doing a quick lesson touching off one of the beloved brothers amongst the ministry. Okay, as you can see his channel. Okay, his video. As you can see his channel. His channel is the Hopeful Elect 3. And he gave the title of this video, "It Won't Be Long Before All Hell Break Loose." It won't be long for all hell to break loose. Okay, when it comes to this place, America, okay, which is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, okay, and eventually, the video gonna go into a, as your typical American, getting on social media and venting, okay, how corrupt this place is, or how more and more becoming, okay, financial wise, moral wise, okay, as we're coming to the time of civil unrest, division, okay, the coming of like I say, financial woes. Okay, this place already experiencing inflation. Okay, job losses, um, evacuations. Okay, people not able to afford homes. Okay, or rent, mortgage. Okay, or when it comes to prices going up. When it comes to your normal utilities, okay, that people gotta work for. Okay, to be sustained. Okay, when it comes to the American lifestyle here in America, okay? Hey, food prices, okay, which can lead to more of a man-made famine, okay? That's gonna come. More pestilence, more hear about tear tax, okay? And we know that these elites had their hands into all of it. Okay, when I say these elites, when it comes to the elites of Esau, Edom, that's being exposed more and more by the way of the internet, okay, but first and foremost by the way of the prophets and through the scriptures of Yahweh Shema Shai, exposing Esau, Edom, these elites, about their agenda, okay, that they trying to forward when it comes to the NWO, okay. That's why you hear more of the talks of order out of chaos, problem, reaction, solution, okay, because these elites have an agenda really to bring a reset, a caste society, okay, to obsolete the dollar, okay, and enforce a digital currency or a digital format, okay, that all ties into the prophecy of Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, okay, which is known as the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast, okay. And when it comes to all these Americans, okay, they starting to feel it, okay, because they want to come against all nations. As the scripture says, they want to heap to themselves all nations, okay, not only here in America, but worldwide, okay, as that RFID micro or that the MOTB, okay, they want to implement. Okay, that's why now you hear more talks of the real ID or the digital ID. Okay, over there, the UK, over there in Vietnam, okay, and other places that going towards being cashless and everything being pushed on biometric, okay, or AI technology, more and more advancing, okay. And now these people, getting more and more fed up. Okay, and that's why now we're approaching civil unrest, the coming of martial law. Okay, troops being deployed. Okay, or stationary, patrolling. Okay, hey, so we in these times, man. Okay, and us that's in the faith, us are the hopeful elect. When it comes to the Hebrew Israelites, start with the men of great millstone and the true brother on down. Okay, we out there giving them warning. Okay, what's to come of great destruction as we're approaching Jacob's trouble. And the only ones that's going to be delivered is the elect, which were considered the 144,000 and one third that's destined to be served. Because 2/3, according to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, a Negro Latino Native American descent, okay, gonna be cut off and judged due to them due to them not repenting, not believing, okay, not acknowledging their heritage, okay, but want to trust in this place, want to trust in these false gods, idol worship, okay, going at the hedonistic customs, so the Lord gonna bring judgment upon the 2/3. And eventually this place, America, gonna be destroyed by the way of thermonuclear fire at the peak of the Third World War, which is going to lead into the time of who the world called Christ, Yahweh Shai's second coming, by the way of the chariots, what the world called UFOs, which are the vehicles of the angels. And Yahweh Shai is only coming back to bring deliverance to the elect, okay, from out of that great destruction here in America, and also where the elect is scattered worldwide, according to Matthew the 24th chapter, verses 29 through 31. But I'm going to go ahead and play this video, okay? Hey, because once again, man, this place is at the verge of its collapse, man, and destruction. Okay, when I say this place going to America, okay? So let me go ahead and play it.
It's coming. One of two things is going to happen in America real soon. People are going to outflux out of the country and escape as soon as they possibly can, or there's going to be some sort of civil uprising. Why, you may ask? Why would such a thing happen? Well, I'm sure you already know this as a fellow lower to middle class citizen of the country, and even probably an upper class citizen, because truly the problem in America is corporations and politicians and the IRS and these people who tax us up the wazoo. But we are going to reach a point in America soon, it won't be long, where people no longer can afford basic necessities. We've already reached this point, man, where people are losing hope and they feel like there's no point. You look at the younger generation of kids out here, man, who are going to work, making $12 an hour to roll silverware and do dishes, man. They can't get ahead in life. They can't even afford an apartment at the wages they're getting paid. Yeah, guess what goes up year after year after year is prices. Gas gets more expensive. Food gets more expensive. Fun gets more expensive. I mean, dude, we're people. We can't just live, work, and die. But that's what people feel like now. People feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. And because of this, what's the point of worship? People feel like they can't afford to have families. So what's going to happen? Population's going to collapse. And this is going to lead to one of two places, man. People are going to leave these conditions because what's the point? Or they're going to say, you know what, man? I'm a rat and I'm cornered. And if you're going to kill me, I'm going to bite your ankle on the way out. If you get enough rats in that corner, man, they can take down the person that's trying to kill them.
Okay, so hear that individual. Okay, more and more appear to be an Edomite. Okay, which these Edomites, this their kingdom. Okay, when it comes to the low level Edomites. Okay, but now they starting to catch hell here in America. Okay, but all before it was all about white privileges. Okay, or we say Edomite privileges. Okay, but now they starting to catch hell with the average American citizens. Okay, and a lot of them are feeling the financial woes more than any other nations over here. Okay, that's why it's going to lead to more of a division. Okay, civil unrest. Okay, race wars, clash wars. okay, leading to the time of martial law, okay, chaos, okay, anarchy, etc. Okay, yeah, cause we in the time of this place destruction, man. Okay, and the average American, okay, is starting to feel it. Okay, yeah, but right about now we in the holiday seasons. Okay, Christmas is approaching in a couple of days. Okay, so people are getting prepared for that, which that getting expensive now. Okay, when it comes to certain Americans that are not able to afford, okay, the tradition of Christmas. Okay, when it comes to that mirth, man. Okay, when it comes to the partying, the gifts, okay, the family union, okay, or the food, okay. But somehow, as this thing is, things are still, as they say, as normal. People still going all about their way, they're trying to be comfortable, okay. In the meantime, as these elites ready to move forward with their NWO, you got a lot of distractions. Okay, you got the sports. Okay, you got the entertainment when it comes to the music, Hollywood, you know, the TV shows, etc. Okay, you got and now they talking about they don't drop the Epstein list. They don't release that. Okay, you got the whole P Diddy document coming out. So a lot of distractions, man. Okay, to keep the average American hypnotized, man. Okay, especially when it comes to you tribes, man. You Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Okay, but one thing, the elect is waking up. Okay, that Lord gonna put the spirit on. They're able to see through all the wickedness and the darkness and the confusion. Okay, and knowing and acknowledging the times that we're heading into. Okay, also the hope for elect. Okay, but let me get this. I'm gonna start off with Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother." Yeah, so the modern day Egyptians or Egypt or spiritual Egypt is America. Okay, Revelation 11 and 8 goes into that. Okay, matter of fact, let me get that because I don't want to know. I know it's Revelation 11 and 8 or Revelation 8 and 11, but I'm going to go ahead and get it to prove the point. Okay, here we go. Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city." Okay, going to America. Okay, because when you look into the word Egypt, a Greek word, okay, it means bondage. Okay, and this is the modern day bondage or captivity for you Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. Okay, here in America. Okay, but now to the point these elites trying to slay their own people in all nations over here in America. Okay, you heard that individual. Okay, saying that now you got certain Americans trying to flee. Okay, trying to get out of the country. Okay, when it comes to these nations, they come to our people trying to get out of here. Okay, but this is the modern day or spiritual captivity or Egypt for you Negro, Latinos, Native Americans. And it says, which spiritually is called Sodom, and we know why Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed. You look up that history, and America take on those same custom. So America is also known as spiritual Sodom. Okay, and it says in Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And the point I wanted to get, that this place is spiritual Egypt for you tribes, man. Okay, your modern day captivity. Okay, so that's the point. And so when it goes into Isaiah, back into Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians," going against, when it comes to the Americans against Americans. Okay, the right wing versus the left wing, the Democrats versus the Republicans, okay, which all do the bidding of these elites of Esau, Edom. Okay, Revelation 13 and 11 goes into that, as it says that the dragon that had two horns, okay, but spoke as a lamb. Okay, because both sides, they'll say how they're going to make America great again or bring prosperity to America, okay, as they're coming in a peaceful manner, okay, but at the same time, they're coming as that dragon, okay, when it comes to them draconian measures, or their strict legislations or executive orders. Okay, once again, which they get their marching orders or get their authority or their power from these elites that's ruling America. Hey, the individual in that video, he made mention that the corporations, because America ain't nothing but a big corporation, man. Okay, for these elites. Okay, and it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Okay, division, and they shall fight one. They shall fight everyone against his neighbor. I mean, everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Okay, that's where you get your civil unrest. Okay, your race wars, your clash wars. Okay, martial law. Okay, and so we in these times, man. Okay, come upon this place, America. Let's get this. Matthew chapter 20, Matthew chapter 12, which I'm gonna get Matthew chapter 24. But Matthew chapter 12, verse 25, and this is red letter, going into Yahushua spoke these words. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall his kingdom stand? Okay, and then going to this place, America, okay, which we know that Esau Edom is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. Okay, he coming after the workings of Satan. Okay, which the word Satan, okay, in the Hebrew Shaitan, okay, mean adversary. Okay, everything that Esau Edom, okay, does is contrary to the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, when it comes to this place, America mainly. Okay, because all before this place is a God-fearing country. Okay, the Bible is the law of the land. But we look into it, they doesn't uphold the law, statutes, commandments, which it was never given unto them anyway. Because the law, statutes, commandments, and the covenants is only for Israel. But Esau Edom had taken on the book, okay, and portray himself as the Lord people. But he doesn't uphold the law, statutes, commandments. Even though they swear on the Bible, which you're not supposed to do, swear on the Bible. But they do it in their court system, and they put the Bible aside and come out with their own jurisdiction laws, man. Okay, all their penal codes, man, which more and more is against the Bible. Okay, and that's why you're seeing this place so corrupt. Okay, but you're seeing the division. Okay, and it says Satan cast out Satan once again, because Esau Edom represent the spiritual demon Satan here on the earth in the physical counterpart. Okay, and that's why this place is divided. Okay, even down to these average American Edomites. Okay, ready to go against each other and ready to try to go against the powers that be, the government. Okay, and down to the average Americans that's on the verge of civil war, of civil unrest. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. I'm gonna get straight to the point. And this is on 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let me see, verse, because it's going into Paul revealing Esau Edom in these times. Okay, so this is going to the future prophecy. Okay, when it comes to Apostle Paul revealing Esau Edom in this time. Okay, even though they was the Romans back then. Okay, but this is Rome all over again. Okay, the second leg of Rome. But this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. And then that wicked shall be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And Esau Edom being exposed at this time. Okay, when it comes to their history, their agendas. Okay, by the way of the spirit of the power of Yahweh Shema Shai, mainly by the way of the prophets. Okay, and by the way of the internet. And it says, and with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Yeah, because when Yahweh Shai return, he's come back to take Esau Edom out of power. Okay, starting with destroying America. Okay, and these heathen nations going down right along with Esau, Edom, which their future is going into captivity upon us, the nation of Israel. Okay, once the Lord established the land, the kingdom in the land of Israel, okay, which that land gonna be destroyed, the land of Israel, by fire, by missiles, because the people that's over there are not the original inheritors. Okay, when it comes to the chief leaders or the chief tribe of Esau, Edom, Amalek. Okay, and I'll keep it like that. But their future is going to captivity. And once we inherit our kingdom, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, these heathen nations are going to build our kingdom up, starting with the elites. Okay, as the elites going to escape the missiles, as they're going to be in their retreats. Okay, just to be reserved for captivity. Okay, but it says the coming to the point, and Yahweh Shah is going to come back with the brightness of his coming by the way of the chariots, bringing fire, the so-called UFOs, right along with the nuclear missiles. Okay, to end Esau Edom rulership. And it says, verse 9, the point, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. Okay, that's the point I want to get. So to show you that Esau Edom is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan here on the earth. Okay? Yeah, because Satan is an angel on the left-hand side, okay, doing the bidding of Yahweh Shema Shah. Okay? But Esau Edom, these Edomites, they're clearly showing you now, especially these elites and those that affiliate with them, the less illuminated ones, they coming out now showing you that who they worship. Okay, Satanism, Baphomet. Okay, so they coming after the work of Satan. That's who the Lord set up. Okay, to give them their power here on the earth right now. But we know it's a chain of command. Okay, that Yahweh Shema Shah control everything. And at the time, Yahweh Shema Shah set up Esau Edom to be the wicked. Okay, coming after the works of Satan. Okay, so now it be to the point that they being divided. Yeah, cause even Satan, like I said, he worked for Yahweh Shema Shah, but he got him divided, and got him in a delusion. Okay, deceiving, thinking that they're gonna fulfill this NWO. Okay, or thinking that this kingdom gonna continue on. Okay, yeah, but they being divided. That's why I read. Matter of fact, let's go back. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. And it says, and if Yahweh Shai and Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Okay, and it's going into Esau Edom at this time. Okay, of course we know when Yahweh Shai will make mention of this, it was going to Israelites. Okay, because you had Israelites that didn't believe that Yahweh Shai was the Messiah, and non-believers. Okay, when it comes to the circumcision of the Jews, okay, that was all about the law, statute, commandments. It didn't accept Yahweh Shai. A lot of people that didn't believe in Yahweh Shai. Okay, and at this time, majority of our people in the workers of Satan. Okay, a lot of our people don't sold out and doing all type of wickedness. Okay, and trusting this place Esau Edom, help foreign Esau Edom NWO. Okay, a lot of sellouts, man. Okay, it ain't hard to tell now, man, with all the exposure coming out when it comes to our people, especially these celebrities, okay, that don't sold out, man. And all the rituals and sacrifice they had to do, blood sacrifice and wickedness they did to gain success, trusting in this place, man. So they doing the bidding of Satan, okay? But right now, it's just Esau Edom that's in power, okay? But you seeing the division, okay? All of it's being exposed, man, to the point it's going to lead to more of civil unrest. Now people gonna get caught up into the civil wars, race wars, the Third World War, martial law, so especially the 2/3 of our people. Okay. Let's get this. And so everything is on the point of division. Let's get on. Let's get this. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword, and the word woe means destruction. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's where you have your race wars, your class wars, the civil wars, martial law, the Third World War. Okay, the modern day sword is going into these the sword going to the modern day weapons. Okay, mainly by the way of the gun. Okay, because Ezra, when he saw this vision in the latter times, they didn't have the terminology of the gun back then. Okay, or missiles, or tanks, okay, or fighter jets, okay, or bombs. Okay, so he described it as the closer thing in the war back then was the sword. Okay, matter of fact, let me get this. That Isaiah. Here you go, Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, going to the ancient ways of war. Okay? But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Yeah, the modern day of war. Okay? By the way of the advanced weaponries. Okay? And besides the guns, man, Esau Edom got AI robots, super soldiers, drones. Okay, when it comes to their technology. Okay, and so that's the times we coming into more advanced weapons and everything, man. Okay, and so let's go back to second Esdras. And in America is known for is gun policies. Okay, which they're trying to regulate now. But you even got certain states divided amongst that. Okay, the right to bear arms. Okay, as this certain states trying to take away the gun rights. Okay, that's gonna lead to more civil unrest. Okay. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and evading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. Yes, sedition means uproars of the people, and the kings and princes represent the governments. Okay. And the courses of their actions shall stand in their power. So people gonna take matter in their own hand. Okay, anarchy. Okay. And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that's where you have martial law, curfews, travel bans, okay, checkpoints. And we know we're gonna come in them checkpoints eventually. The RFID micro. Okay, more talks of smart cities or safe zones. More talks of the here of biometric, facial recognition, Planeteer. Okay, and it says what they got, the data analysts, satellites. Okay, and it says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Hey, so we coming to these times, man. Okay, and I'll get this, and I'll probably get ready to close because I don't want to make this video too long. But let's get this. Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 30. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And so that's got your civil unrest. Okay, your clash wars, your race wars. Okay, division. Okay. And so for you tribes out there, as it says in Romans 13:11, it is high time to wake out of sleep, because salvation is nearer than what we believe. Okay, but on the elect is going to wake up that Yahweh Shema Shai okay, is going to deliver it, man. Okay, and that's the number that we striving to be part of, man. Okay, when it comes to those that endure to the end. Okay, matter of fact, I make mention of Matthew chapter 24. Let's say I said Matthew chapter 24. Let me see, because I'm thinking about when it says that the love of many shall wax cold. Yeah, Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. And because of iniquity shall abound, going into wickedness or sin, okay, or wickedness here in America, okay, mainly this place. And it says the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what you're starting to see. People crashing out, okay, ready to take matters in their own hand. Okay, when you look into that word cold there, okay, in the blue letter, okay, in the Greek, going to psycho, okay, just download the blue letter or go to the blue letter, okay, look up the word Greek there in the Greek, okay, going to psycho, okay, and that's where you're starting to see people crashing out, okay, about to take matters in their own hand. Verse 13, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, that's going into the elect, us of the hopeful elect that endure, knowing this truth. Okay, in the knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai, that we be covered in the times of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and preparing ourselves. Okay, and continue on to give diligence to make our call and election sure. Okay, and measuring the times, man. As the scripture says, watch as well as pray as well. Okay, and looking forward to these things, hasting in the coming of the day of the Lord. Okay, and it says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then shall the end come. And be coming in that time, because this gospel has been preached worldwide, man. Courtesy to the internet. Okay, so now we're coming to that appointed time of the end of Esau Edom rulership and the coming of Jacob. Okay, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay, coming rulership. Okay, by default, the kingdom of Israel starting with the elect. Okay, and you can read that in 2nd Esdras chapter 6, starting at verse 6 through 9. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the lesson here, and I pray that lesson will edify until next time, Lord willing. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.